Today, we're going to talk about a food item that many of us consider a staple in our diets: canned corned beef. It's affordable, convenient, and, for many, a comforting part of our meals. However, what most people don't realize is that this popular food, especially in the Pacific Islands, poses significant health risks. In fact, the key that opens the corned beef can could very well be the key to your coffin, as overconsumption of canned corned beef is linked to dangerous non-communicable diseases, NCDs, such as heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. Let's dive into why that is. To understand the dangers of canned corned beef, we need to take a closer look at its ingredients. Canned corned beef is a processed food, often made from beef, salt, preservatives, and other additives. The primary ingredients are generally beef, water, salt, and fat. What's alarming is the amount of sodium and saturated fat packed into every serving. While it might seem like a simple, convenient protein source, these ingredients can have a major impact on your health when consumed frequently. Let's start with sodium, one of the most concerning components in canned corned beef. A single can of corned beef can contain up to 800 milligrams of sodium in just a single serving. Now, the recommended daily intake of sodium for an adult is about 2,300 milligrams, which means that eating just one serving could account for a significant portion of your daily sodium allowance. So what's the problem with too much sodium? Over time, a high sodium intake can lead to hypertension or high blood pressure. Hypertension is a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke. When blood pressure is consistently high, it can damage blood vessels and the heart, increasing the risk of life-threatening conditions. In many Pacific Island nations where canned corned beef is a dietary staple, high sodium intake is directly contributing to a rise in cardiovascular diseases. Next, let's talk about saturated fats. Saturated fats are found in high concentrations in canned corned beef. Saturated fats increase levels of LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, in the blood. High levels of LDL cholesterol lead to the buildup of plaque in the arteries, which narrows and hardens them, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This can eventually lead to heart attacks or strokes. In addition, a diet high in saturated fats contributes to obesity, which is a key risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes. Obesity affects how the body processes insulin, leading to insulin resistance and ultimately the onset of diabetes. Both heart disease and diabetes are leading causes of death worldwide, and consuming canned corned beef regularly only increases your risk of these diseases. While canned corned beef is a good source of protein, it is often low in essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The lack of nutrient density in processed foods like corned beef means that while you might be getting calories, you're not getting the essential nutrients your body needs to function properly. This creates an imbalance in the diet, which over time can lead to deficiencies in important nutrients like vitamins A, C, and D, and minerals such as calcium and potassium. In Pacific Island nations, where traditional diets are being replaced by processed foods, this shift is causing a nutritional imbalance. People are consuming fewer fresh fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, which are rich in nutrients, and relying more on foods like canned corned beef, which lack essential nutrients but are calorie-dense. Over time, this can lead to weakened immune systems, digestive issues, and a higher susceptibility to chronic diseases. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Pacific Islands are facing a growing health crisis, with one of the highest rates of non-communicable diseases, NCDs, in the world. Diseases such as heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and obesity are becoming increasingly common, particularly among younger generations. A major contributor to this crisis is the high consumption of processed foods like canned corned beef. These foods are inexpensive, easy to store, and convenient to prepare, making them an attractive option for busy families. However, the long-term health consequences of consuming such foods are severe. In these communities, it's not just about the food on the plate. It's about the overall dietary patterns that have shifted away from fresh, whole foods toward processed options. So, what can be done to change the situation? It's essential to shift away from relying on processed, canned foods like corned beef and focus more on whole foods and healthier alternatives. Fresh fish, lean meats, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains should take precedence in the diet. Governments and health organizations in the Pacific Islands must continue to raise awareness about the dangers of processed foods. Educating the public about reading food labels, understanding the risks of high sodium and saturated fat, and promoting traditional diets that focus on fresh, locally grown foods is key to reversing the health crisis. Additionally, local markets and grocery stores can work to make healthier food options more accessible and affordable. Community-level initiatives that encourage cooking with fresh ingredients can also help reduce the dependence on canned, processed foods. In conclusion, canned corned beef might be a quick, convenient option, but it comes with significant health risks. Its high sodium, saturated fat, and low nutritional value are major contributors to the rise of non-communicable diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, especially in Pacific Island nations. While it's tempting to rely on this processed food for its affordability, we need to make conscious efforts to move toward healthier dietary choices. After all, the key that opens the can of corned beef could be the key that opens your coffin. Let's take control of our health, make better food choices, and work together to build a healthier future.